Today, we're diving straight into an explainer covering some absolute gold we found on mastering the 2026 YouTube gaming algorithm. Look, if you're completely exhausted from grinding away on your channel just to watch the algorithm completely ignore you, well, you're in the right place. We're going to decode the raw data together and figure out exactly what separates the channels that absolutely explode from the ones that, just kind of stagnate. It's a fascinating look at the real hard numbers straight from top creators and strategists. First up, we really need to talk about the sheer, unprecedented scale of modern gaming content, because it is wild. We're literally watching a brand new era of entertainment unfold right now. Actually, a recent article from the publication Push to Talk hit the nail on the head. They highlighted how these massive, 1,000-player Minecraft Civilization events are basically inventing a totally new genre. They called it massively multiplayer reality TV. And it's so true. Players aren't just punching trees and building dirt huts anymore. They're forming complex nations, staging these elaborate betrayals, and role-playing entirely new characters in a super immersive digital universe.
So here's our playbook for today's explainer. We'll start with the Minecraft content boom, then move into winning with searchable tutorials, followed by packaging for maximum clicks, tackling the gaming revenue problem, and finally, hacking your YouTube CPM. Let's get right into it.
Kicking things off with Section 1, the Minecraft content boom. Right now, the bar for top-tier gaming entertainment is just astronomically high. Take the creator Ish, for example. He recently hosted this massive simulation where players formed actual societies and went to all-out war. It was incredible to watch. But here is the massive catch. He and his team spent up to 2 years editing that one single video. 2 entire years. And yeah, sure, it pulled over 19 million views and people called it peak cinema, but let's be real for a second. For most small creators, you simply cannot rely on that kind of high-effort, massive-scale production to sustainably grow a channel. It's just not realistic.
Which brings us to a much better path in Section 2, winning with searchable tutorials. This right here is where the magic actually happens for smaller channels looking to build a base. A successful Hindi creator named Ultrabitu Gamers shared this exact strategy. And it's brilliant. He figured out that targeting very specific, low-competition searches brings in this steady, evergreen flow of views. So instead of trying to craft a viral, cinematic masterpiece on day one, he focused on hyper-specific text searches, things like Mozilla Launcher setup or getting the Feather client on mobile, or even step-by-step server-making guides and FPS boost mods. Now, these videos might not explode overnight, but they compound. People are searching for these exact tutorials every single day, and that slow trickle, it eventually snowballs into thousands of views and dedicated subscribers.
And this sets up a pretty stark contrast that every new creator has to face. On one hand, you can gamble on high-effort storytelling that takes months to produce, requires massive scale, and honestly comes with a really low algorithmic guarantee. Or you can bank on the low-effort, high-guarantee reality of evergreen search content. This route relies on targeted keywords, it feeds you consistent daily traffic, and it gives the viewer highly actionable advice. It's literally about building your foundation brick by brick, rather than just praying for a lightning strike.
So the million-dollar question, how do you find these terms? Well, according to keyword research data, your absolute best friend here is the long-tail keyword. If you're not familiar, these are highly specific search phrases that have moderate volume, meaning they get searched maybe 1,000 to 100,000 times a month, but they have incredibly low competition. For example, how to set up Mozilla Launcher for beginners. These exact, ultra-specific phrases are the magic weapons you need to capture an audience, simply because the huge channels aren't even bothering to compete for them.
But of course, a great idea needs a great wrapper. Let's look at Section 3, packaging for maximum clicks.
Because let's be honest, the best searchable idea in the world is absolutely useless if no one actually clicks on it. According to the design strategists over at Packapop, who, by the way, have designed for thousands of creators, there's a really simple 3-step formula for building a high click-through rate thumbnail that actually pops in a crowded mobile feed. First, keep the idea simple. Second, use bold visuals. We're talking bright glowing lava, massive mobs looming in the background, or super striking before and after split screens. And third, use text chips.
Let's zoom in on those text chips for a second, because they are insanely effective. You really want to heavily utilize punchy, specific words on your thumbnails. Words like OP, 2026, only, no HUD, or first try. Why? Because they instantly communicate your video's unique promise before the viewer even glances at the title. If you're doing a challenge where you play without an interface, just slapping no HUD in massive, bold letters right there turns a standard gameplay video into an extreme must-click challenge.
All right, now we have to address the elephant in the room. Section 4, the gaming revenue problem. Based on TubeBuddy data, gaming is, unfortunately, a notoriously low-paying niche. It's just the harsh reality of the space. Check out this cost per mil, or CPM comparison, which is basically what advertisers pay per 1,000 views. Content about making money online has an average CPM of over $13. Education content sits at nearly $10. And gaming is down at the absolute bottom with an average CPM of around $1. $1. That literally means millions of views might only translate to a few $100 for a hardworking gaming creator.
But don't panic, because there is a way out of this trap. By pivoting your angle just a bit, you can completely rewrite how advertisers see your channel. For example, what if you shift away from standard loud gameplay challenges? You know, the ones with super low commercial intent, where you're just screaming at zombies. Instead, lean into technical education. Imagine doing a video comparing RTX ray tracing to Optifine shaders, or breaking down physical-based rendering and GPU requirements. By doing that, you instantly shift your video from the gaming bucket into tech or education in the eyes of advertisers. And guess what? Advertisers selling high-end graphics cards or premium software pay a massive premium compared to the ones selling gaming energy drinks.
And that leads us right into our final and arguably most important part. Section 5, hacking your YouTube CPM. Believe it or not, this strategy is so powerful that one creator saw a mind-blowing 363% RPM increase simply by shifting their angle. They went from making standard gaming highlights to crafting game development tutorials. And the craziest part? They didn't need a single extra view to do it. Their revenue just jumped 363% overnight. They entirely stopped obsessing over raw views and started optimizing for CPM, speaking directly to an audience that advertisers actually want to spend big money on.
To further hack this system, the data reveals another incredibly easy win. It turns out that hitting a 12 to 15-minute video length is the absolute sweet spot. Doing this increases your RPM dramatically. Why? Well, it opens up the optimal number of mid-roll ad slots, usually around 3 or 4, while still being short enough that you don't tank your viewer retention. Because look, if you drag it out past 20 minutes, retention usually drops way too low, and people click off before they even see those mid-roll ads. The secret sauce is keeping it deep, keeping it engaging, and nailing that 12 to 15-minute window.
Plus, you can easily stack these quick wins to multiply your earnings right now. For instance, did you know that simply uploading between Tuesday and Thursday can instantly boost your revenue by up to 35%? Seriously, it's because business-to-business ad spending always peaks midweek. You should also be targeting Tier 1 English-speaking geographies, mercilessly cutting your intros down to a snappy 5 seconds to hook people past that crucial 1-minute mark, and strategically placing 1 or 2 non-skippable ads. These might seem like tiny little tweaks, but together they add up to a massive difference in your paycheck.
So we've got to ask, what's it gonna be? Are you gonna keep endlessly chasing viral views against massive creators who have huge budgets and literally years to edit? Or are you gonna use search intent, smart packaging, and CPM hacks to build yourself a sustainable, highly profitable business? The data is crystal clear, but the implementation is completely on you. What untapped, high CPM keyword are you gonna start researching today? Thanks so much for diving into this explainer with me. Keep exploring, and I'll catch you next time.